Okay, we're all right. Andy Madrigal, Craig. All right, guys, we're live here on YouTube. Just we're gonna pull up the charts, and if you can just click the hearts button, the like button, whatever you call it, so that we can get some more eyes on the stock that we're talking about. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, and we're live. All right, so what's going on today? So LITM, the hottest stock on the planet right now is LITM, Snow Lake Resources. I'm going to show you the chart in just a second. We have a breakout, a massive breakout on the daily charts above the 50 and the 200 moving average, okay? Why is that a big deal? Why is it a big deal? Because every time you have this chart pattern, stocks explode. So take a look at this. Take a look at this. This was your chart, your daily chart. By the way, this is a daily chart. Big deal. You got the breakout happening above the 200 moving average. That triggers all the algos. Why? Because it's a big deal. Well, how do you know it's a big deal? You got to get the book, 10-Bagger Blueprint. Link above in the bio to understand how these charts work and why this stuff happens. Anyhow, you got this thing happening right now. We told everybody in our private Telegram channel about this earlier this morning, so they knew about the LITM move. Again, this is a uranium and rare earths pure play. Question is, how big will it be? Look at this. How big can a move in LITM be? Well, I always like to say stocks like to go back to old highs. Look at the previous high, 150 bucks a share. Am I saying that LITM is going to 150 a share? No, I'm not saying that. I am saying that it could go. Actually, it could. Wow. Oh, sneezing here today. This is the next level of resistance. So I think that we could get to 20 bucks plus very, very quickly. Look how fast this thing moves when it starts moving. This thing moves like lightning. When this thing moves, it just absolutely explodes. That is, my friends, that is LITM. That's where you got to have LITM on your watch list. So massive breakout happening. Now the question is, okay, so let's say you missed out. So by the way, we hit, it was what were we? This morning we were at like 480. I think it was like $5 when we put out the alert to our Telegram channel, and we hit 740 today. What do we hit today? 740 and change, whatever it is. Let's zoom in on the close-up action. So the question is, should you buy LITM here? Well, here is your 5-minute chart. Here is your 5-minute chart. So again, we had a pullback. And by the way, this stock is very, very volatile. I mean, it just, we've talked about it before. It's got a very weird personality. It goes up, pulls back. It's totally out of control. Anyway, it pulled back to the 50 moving average on the 5-minute chart and looks like it's about to take off. So you may have a very strong bounce from here, starting literally right now. Like literally, this could be starting like right now. Let's zoom in on the 3-minute chart. Looks like we could be starting here. Somebody's asking, when is the next new banger? When is our next new stock? I think next week. That's right. We're going to have a new stock next week. Again, assuming the market is relatively stable. I don't want to launch into a when there's too much volatility. Anyway, this is what's going on. So LITM, very, very strong chart. So what was your pullback? We went from, let's call it 450 to $3.50, so 5. Yeah, it's right around, this is a pretty normal retracement. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to happen this quickly, though. This is a mass, I mean, crazy volatility today, crazy volatility. But if you missed out on LITM, guess what's next? You got the same exact chart pattern happening right now with ADN. ADN, guys, put ADN on your watch list. I'm going to show you the daily charts. It is explosive. Yeah, I showed you that 200, the breakout on the 200 moving average. Now watch this. This is ADN, and we're up about 23%, 68 cents. You got a breakout on the 200 moving average happening right now. This is ADN and above the 50 and the 200, and it looks like you're going to have a golden cross happening in a couple of days. What is the golden cross? Why is it a big deal? Well, a golden cross is a technical signal. That's when your 50 moving average goes above the 200. It's something I explain in the book, 10-Bagger Blueprint, and in my video course. Click the link above if you're watching on TikTok to get the video course or the book, #1 bestseller on Amazon, that explains how this stuff works. But it's a major algo trigger. Again, whenever you have a stock that breaks out above the 50 and the 200 moving average on the daily charts, it triggers all these algos. Those are all these automated trading programs that drive literally, billions of dollars a day in trading volume. Now watch this. It gets even better. Here is your 15-minute chart on ADN. ADN. Again, you're going to have a golden cross coming up. You got a pennant formation. So ADN is looking very, very strong. And hang on a second. It's going to get back. I'm going to make a note here for everybody here. ADN. Okay, so let's go back to the charts. Okay, so you got ADN. You got a pennant forming. You're going to have a golden cross on your 15-minute chart probably in the next day or so. That could send this thing above $5. This thing could go to $9, $12 very, very quickly, and I think relatively easily. Very strong charts here. Beautiful looking setup. Again, probably a golden cross maybe in 4 or 5 days on your 30-minute chart, maybe 3 days. There we go. This is your 1-hour chart looking good. How about the 5-minute chart? 5-minute chart, we're forming a pennant. So this is very, very powerful. Let's go back to your daily. Okay, again, you see this breakout, you see this double bottom. So we launched a stock over here. We launched a stock, it was $2, exploded, went to 620 in a couple of days. So people tripled their money right over here. And then it's been consolidating for the last few months. It pulled back, and now we've built this base, bouncing off the base, and a breakout above these moving averages. And you have this double bottom. What you have here is what I call a high probability setup for an explosive move. How big can ADN go? My first target on it is just over here, which is $10, $12. So I think we can hit around $10, $12 over here. Very likely could happen in the next week or so. Literally, I think ADN has a possibility of doubling or tripling. I know it sounds crazy. Oh my God, this is hype. Oh, it's all pump and dump, blah blah blah. I know all the comments. Look at what the chart. Look at what the stock has done. You pull up the chart. You pull up the ADN chart, and you can see how the stock behaves. When this thing starts running, it absolutely explodes. Absolutely explodes. We got people asking about CHAI, which is CIATA, basically. It's formerly known as CIATA. So I'm going to give you the chart update on CHAI. Let me tell you something. We've had some crazy stuff happen in the last week. I mean, so CHAI. I'm going to pull this up. Now, hang on a second. We'll probably have their CEO on our program just for an update at some point, maybe next week. I've reached out to him. Anyway, look, this is CIATA, former CIATA. You had this massive base happening, and it was the Friday before last. We put out a TikTok video right here saying this thing is ready to go to the moon, and because again, you had to break it above the 50 and the 200. Now, technically, it closed below the 200, but the next day it kind of was a little bit lower. Then it goes up above. They closed the deal. People were not expecting that deal to happen. And sure enough, it goes up. You know, it happens. And then the stock falls apart. Then the stock falls apart the next day. It goes basically from, you know, they did a reverse merger. Excuse me, not a reverse, a reverse split, excuse me. They did a reverse split. So it goes from like 15 bucks. I mean, drops by like, you know, 70% in a couple of days. How? No idea. Makes no sense. Makes no sense, but these things do happen. Real company, they're doing right now, looks like 90 million in revenues between the AI gaming business and the Seattle legacy business. So I think it's going to build a base at some point. And I would wait till we have a buy till we go above the moving averages. I would like kind of hold off on CHAI till it builds a solid base. I think the stock right now, yes, Seattle. Look here, yeah, and I got to tell you, we got another crazy one, WGRX. Well, guys, this is what I always say. You know, our goal is to find these stocks that have 10x to 100x upside, right? This is public venture capital, right? These are high risk stocks, and anything can happen. There's a lot of, you know, drama that goes on. I mean, crazy stuff happens all the time. That's the price you pay if you want to make like literally 10 times your money in 6 months with some of these stocks like we've had. Or Seattle went up 700%. People made 7 times the money in 8 days, right? So what's the price you pay for that? You pay volatility. WGRX, look at that. It's one of our next super stocks, or was. And today the news comes out. The whole management team, the guys who we're dealing with, they're gone. New management team has come in. I don't even know what's going on, but I have a call out to find out what's going on. I don't know what's going on with these people. No idea. And I've never had that happen ever in 25 plus years. There's always something new. Okay, guys, please click the Ethan Lerner shared the live. Okay, Ethan, thank you. So guys, click the share button like Ethan just did. I don't know how he did that, but Ethan shared the live stream. So thank you, Ethan. If you guys can click the hearts button or the share button to share the live stream. ADT. Okay, so here's the thing. You know, when do you buy and when do you sell? One thing I talked about in the book is, and also in our video course, a link above to get that, is what's your sell signal? When do you sell a stock? Well, there's a couple of times. You have the good news, good news. Like, in other words, let's say stock is going up 500%, 1,000%. You take some money off the table. You may take profits, whatever. I explained that. The other time that you sell a stock is when the company fails to, meet the investment, the thesis, right? So to be clear, let's repeat this. Whenever we introduce a stock here, right? Whenever we introduce a stock here, it's a stock which I believe could be a 10-bagger stock where you can make literally 10x, 100x. It's what we call our next super stock. But the whole premise is that the company is at the inflection point, meaning this is the moment in time where all the scaling is about to happen, all the value is going to be created, meaning new products launching, explosive sales growth, et cetera, M&A, whatever it is, but the value is going to be created, okay? Now, how do you know that's going to happen? How do you know that the company is at the inflection point? I explained in the book. News flow, okay? News flow. The only, there was, remember President Ronald Reagan, one of the great American presidents, and he said his famous expression was trust but verify, because the Russians or the Soviets, they were saying, oh yeah, they had the nuclear arms reduction talks. He says, okay, look, we're going to trust, we'll trust what you're saying, guys, but we're going to verify. We're going to send inspectors, all that stuff. Same thing with these stocks. Okay, a CEO comes on, he tells you a great story. Great. You got to verify. How do you verify? The news flow. If a company doesn't deliver news flow of like 3+ press releases per month right after they launch, it's not going to be our next super stock. Okay, and ADTX is a perfect example of that. ADTX, Al, I'm talking about this right now. So ADTX is basically, it's a failure. Why did ADTX fail? They didn't deliver on the premise. They did not deliver on, the news flow. That means the stock is not at the inflection point. It's not a next super stock. The investment thesis is broken. So we haven't done anything with ADTX in, it's got to be since August, probably August 1st or something, in 2 months. We haven't done anything with ADTX in 2 months. And I've reached out to the CEO. I said, look, you got to have news flow. And look, I'll do whatever it takes to help these companies out, like help you with news flow, whatever it is you need, right? Ideas, et cetera, et cetera. And they have plenty of stuff to talk about. The fact is, Amro, the CEO, great guy. I think he's a great guy, but he's failed to deliver a news flow. You got to dump the stock. If the company doesn't have news, you got to get out. So we got WGRX, kind of a similar situation. Their news flow, they have news flow, not as much as they claimed they would have. And now you have new management is coming like overnight. I don't know what's going on with WGRX. I have no idea what's going on. So they're basically, the thesis is out the window. The old thesis is out the window. We got to see what the new company, I don't know. We got to wait. It's basically, so Al, you're asking, is WGRX a buy here? No, I'd wait to see kind of what happens. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what the fundamentals are at this point. Like, are they going to change the business model? What are they doing? It's basically a disaster. But the strange thing is this. The thing about WGRX, you have this, when this type of thing happens, it's like, what, the whole management team leaves, you got a new management team comes in overnight. The stock is only, normally a stock would drop. So what the market is telling you is the market likes that news. The market is only down 8% on WGRX. We're kind of at a base of 60 cents. So this thing is, again, I'm not saying buy, but we may have found a base in WGRX. I'm going to reach out to them, see what they're doing, because this is very bizarre. Thank you. Supplements for losing fat. Yeah. We look. Like I said, it's public venture capital. You have, most venture capitalists, right? The VCs. They're looking for 10x to 100x type returns, right? But they're going to invest in, let's call it 10 companies. Out of those 10 companies, 9 of them will fail. They'll just go to zero. 9 of those companies that they invest in will go to zero. One of them will increase, the value of it will increase 20x, and that'll pay for everything else. That's how it works. Same thing here. Now, we don't have, our hit rate is much bigger because every one of our stocks has increased from the time we launched it, or at least from the time we introduced it. Every single one. Every single one. Every one of our, this happens to be a fact. Every one of our stocks usually doubles right after we launch it, doubles or triples. In the worst case was WorkSport, which is up only 45%. Only 45% on day one. By the way, how's WorkSport doing? They have some pretty strong news happening now. The stock has kind of been under the 200 moving average. It's at support levels. It's like marking time. I think this is, I guess they're doing this reggae often. I don't understand why this thing is holding it back, but it is. It's been held back because of this. Once that's done, the stock, I believe, can move. Andrew, when everything's disappear for days. What does days mean? Sometimes I don't. Sometimes, I take a day off or something. Is that whatever? I'm not on TikTok. I have to be on TikTok every day for you, Andrew. Are you paying me, Andrew? Let's see here. Okay, so let's go to what else? What else? ADN. Let's pull up ADN. 2 o'clock. How are we doing on ADN? ADN. 15-minute chart looks absolutely explosive right now. The 15-minute chart on ADN looks absolutely explosive. Hang on, let me go to the full picture here. Yeah. Andrew. No, Andrew, you're you're getting free content here, and you're complaining. I love that this guy complains. Supplements. Yeah, no. Listen, you're completely right. I said ADN. What happened? ADN. Let's pull up the daily chart. Yeah, ADN a week ago. Okay, you're completely right. Supplements. I said the stock was ready to explode a week ago. And what happened? So let me show you. This is what I was looking at. I was looking at this breakout happening. So a week ago, we were at, breaking out above the moving averages. Again, this is, I'm waiting for this breakout of this pennant formation. This happened a week ago. So we started going, right? That's when I said, hey, it's ready to go to the moon. And sure enough, it kind of just, for whatever reason, it's like, it kind of just failed. And then it's happening again. Why does it happen? I don't know. This is what happens with stocks. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't do exactly what you expect it to do. By the way, we're about to have a golden cross on the 1 hour chart. That's your algo trigger, very bullish. So, but you're completely right. I did say a week ago that ADN was breaking out and ready to go to the moon. This is where it was. And then it failed to follow through. It actually went in reverse, and now we're back. By the way, have I ever said I'm 100% right? I'm not 100% right. At best, I'd be 60% right. Anybody who's 100% right, nobody's 100% right with these stocks. At best, you might be 55% right, 60% right. What matters is when you're right, you got to be right in a big way. You got to be right with something that goes like literally to the moon. It's okay to take small losses. I think it's fine to take small losses. And again, I look at this stuff as, again, public venture capital. I say this over and over again. These are high risk stocks. The odds are, statistically speaking, that they're going to go to zero, right? 1 out of 10 stocks will go literally to the moon, and that pays for everything. So let's say you buy 10 stocks. You buy 10 of our stocks. You put $1,000 into each one. You got 10 grand invested. 9 of them go to zero. You're down 9 grand. That one stock goes up 20x, which we've had many times, or 50x. Now you have $20,000. You just basically doubled your money, even though you lost on 90% of your stuff. That's the public venture capital model. Now, we haven't had that type of thing happen, but that you should expect that. Again, get the book. I wrote this for a reason. So that you know exactly what to expect. I mean, why do I keep repeating myself when, stuff that is, the information is out there. So you have if you're losing money with these stocks and you haven't read the book, you got only yourself to blame. When is the next new banger? Next week. We have a new banger coming next week. Next week, the new stock. Ciara. Yeah, I don't know. That's they did close the deal. Nobody believed it. Now we gotta wait to see what the new company does. But look, I think Ciara or Core AI Holdings, whatever, I think it's going to be okay. I think they're going to be fine. I think it's going to work out over the next couple of months. Andrew, when is CHI? I have no idea. No idea. The chart is actually starting to look good, to be honest with you. I hate to say this. Chart is actually starting to look good on CHI. CHAI I mean, I'll show you what the 15-minute chart is looking like. Again, I don't care what you do with it. They're not a client. So you get a pennant breakout. So CHI could start moving. CHAI could start moving in a big way. Anyway, we're talking about ADN and LITM today. LADN and LITM. We're gonna be gone. We're gonna be going in a couple minutes. It's 2 o'clock. Okay. So LITM is on the move. What did I tell you guys? We're bouncing off the charts on the 5-minute charts. We got a bounce off the support levels here on the 5-minute charts. Very bullish. Okay. So LITM looking good. This thing can make a big move. LITM could make a big move here. Get ready. LITM, I think into the close. Into the close, we could have a huge move in LITM. Okay, let's see what else. One last look at ADN before I go. So ADN, beautiful chart setup on the 15-minute charts, by the way. I think we're going to have an explosive close in ADN. Take a look at this, guys. ADN. This is ADN right now. ADN. You got your breakout above the moving averages. Golden cross coming up. Pennant happening. So that is ADN. New stock next week, guys. New stock next week. The new banger. The new banger is coming next week. You know what I'm going to pull up? I'm going to pull up Bitcoin real quick because I was going to put something out on Bitcoin. What is going on with Bitcoin, actually? So, I just want to show you something on Bitcoin because I'm keeping an eye on Bitcoin because it's a bellwether for speculative assets. So it's a 1-hour chart. You had this like upside reversal happening last night. This was happening. This is a 1-hour chart. So this was happening last night. And looks, again, we broke out above the moving average. So this could be your upside reversal. Now, the question is, why haven't we had a huge day already? Well, why haven't we broken above the 200 moving average, which is 120? If Bitcoin goes above 120, that's the continuation of the trend. So, and that's going to be good for our stocks as well. ADN. Let's pull it up. Okay, so ADN, keep your eye on ADN. We could have a huge move in the stock into the close. ADN. You get this wide double bottom base, breakout above the moving averages, the 50 and the 200. This is the 1-hour chart. I can't believe people don't understand how big of a deal this is. I mean, this is a huge deal, actually. Look at this. It's happening right now. Okay. All right, TikTok, we'll see you. I'll be back Thursday. See you then. ADN, keep this on your watch list. Okay, there you go. TikTok. All right, guys. ASST. All right, Nico, just for you, I'm going to do it. I don't know what this company does. I have nothing to do with ASST. Strive Asset Management. Oh, is this one of these Bitcoin bullshit companies? Yeah. Looks like it's a dead stock. Oh, shit. Nico, you giving me this dead... Oh, I remember this. This was the thing that was doing a Bitcoin treasure or something, right? It went bananas. And yeah, right around the time of the Wainwright conference. It just went crazy. But then, like, what do they have? Look at this. I mean, here you got to break down below the moving average. I mean, this is like, this is one of the ugliest charts. Look at this. They broke below the moving average at 200 at $3. Try to make a comeback, was rejected, and now, wow, horrible looking chart. I don't even know what they do. I mean, I think it's a Bitcoin company, right? Bitcoin crypto. So ASST, I would say ASST is a dead stock, like toxic waste.
Penny stock billionaires get ready for next.
Sorry, it's my TikTok. Sorry, I'm just clicking the button there. All right, guys, thank you. We'll see you in the next one.